Welcome back, each and everyone watching Mama Rugagasabo Television. Thank you for being with us again to be with me, Kamikaze Gislen. Now let's kick off the news headlines. Eda Mukabagwiza appointed to lead EAC election observation mission for Uganda polls. Rwanda raises coffee prices to boost farmer incomes. On the international news, Algeria's president urges youth living abroad illegally
Dream Properties, new company ya mbere kandi y'abanyamwuga mu kubaka inzu zigezweho kandi udahenzwe. Dream Properties muri iminsi ya promotion kuri service zose, aho hari igabanyirizwa ridasanzwe, bakaba bahanga mu gukora ibishushanyo by'amazu byihariye ku buryo inzu yawe nta handi wayibona ku isi. Dream Properties bakora finissage y'amazu mu buryo bwihariye. Dream Properties bagufasha kuvugurura inzu yawe kandi ikajyana n'igihe ndetse igasa neza. Bakora interior design, exterior design, bakora ibikoni bigezweho, gutunganya inzu z'ubucuruzi ndetse bakanagusabira autorisation de bâtir ku buntu. Tandukana no kubaka inzu idahwanye n'amafaranga washoyeho. Turabanyamwuga kandi turizi kabone niyo waba uri kure tukubakira nk'uyibereye. Duhamagare kuri 079 48 86 wanasura website yacu wa@dreampropertyrwanda.com no ku mbuga nkoranyambaga zose bitwa Dream Properties Rwa. Dukorera mu nyubako TCB House floor ya 3. Dream Properties, your dream, our mission.
Welcome back. Latest news in Rwanda. Rwandan politician and former Justice Minister Eda Mukabagwiza has been appointed to lead the East African Community Election Observation Mission for Uganda's general elections scheduled for Thursday, January 15, 2026. The mission, officially flagged off by the EAC in Arusha, Tanzania, comprises 61 observers drawn from partner states and the EAC Secretariat, reflecting the bloc's commitment to inclusivity and regional representation. Mukabagwiza, a seasoned diplomat with extensive public service experience, said the team will monitor the electoral process in an independent, impartial, and objective manner. She stressed that observers will not interfere in political outcomes or announce results, but will document and report findings in line with regional and international election standards. Observers will access all phases of the polls, including pre-election environment, voting, counting, and result transmission before issuing preliminary and final reports with recommendations. Moving ahead, Nyamagabe District Administration has officially launched the construction of the 32-kilometer Kaduha-Mugano-Mushubi road. The road is expected to solve problems faced by users, including difficulty in accessing markets and difficulties in traveling for those seeking services in sectors and hospitals. In the first phase of the construction of this road, 9 kilometers will be built. Turning to the next story, Rwanda's National Agriculture Export Development Board, NAEB, has increased the minimum price for high-quality, well-ripe coffee cherries to 750 Rwandan francs per kilogram for the 2026 season, up to 25% from 600 Rwandan francs in 2025. The new farm gate price, the lowest rate buyers can pay farmers, takes effect immediately and aims to strengthen farmer earning amid rising global coffee prices and increased local production. About 400,000 coffee farmers are expected to benefit from the adjustment, which follows a strong year for Rwanda's coffee sector, marked by higher export revenues and expanded market access. Farmer leaders welcomes the increase, said it boosts incomes and incentives investments in quality production. They also noted that competition among buyers often pushes prices above the minimum. NAEB attributed the rise largely stronger international coffee prices and favorable exchange rate movements that improve export returns. Higher farmer gate prices are expected to sustain momentum in Rwanda's coffee industry and help farmers capture more income from global market gains. Now let's take a short break to be back on the international news. Welcome back on the international news. Algeria's President Abdelmadjid Tebboune has called for Algerian youth living abroad in vulnerable and illegal situations to come home.
On the international news, let's start in Africa, where Algeria's President Abdelmadjid Tebboune has urged young Algerians living abroad in illegal or vulnerable situations to return to their home country, promising to regularize their status. The appeal was made during a cabinet meeting on Sunday, according to a government statement. Tebboune said the measure targets youth who left Algeria illegally and may have committed minor offenses in their host countries. Authorities said some had been misled and exploited to act against Algeria and now live in poverty, separated from their families and subjected to degrading work conditions. The initiative could affect tens of thousands of young Algerians. The International Organization for Migration estimates that about 54,000 Algerians migrated to Europe between 2020 and 2024. Under current law, illegal departure from Nigeria can result in up to 6 months in prison and a fine. The proposed decree would allow returnees to avoid prosecution if they pledge not to reoffend. Proceeding, France will open a consulate in Greenland on February 6. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot announced Wednesday, describing the move as political signal to strengthen France's presence in the Arctic territory. The decision was taken last year during President Emmanuel Macron's visit to Greenland, an autonomous territory of Denmark. Barrot said the consulate aims to deepen French engagement, including in scientific cooperation at a time of heightened geopolitical tensions in the Arctic. His comments come as US President Donald Trump has repeatedly suggested the United States should take control of Greenland, citing strategic concerns and growing activity by Russia and China in the region. Danish and Greenland foreign ministers were due to meet US Vice President J.D. Vance in Washington later Wednesday. Barrot says that Greenland has chosen to remain linked to Denmark, NATO, and the European Union, and does not wish to be owned or governed by the United States. Greenland's leaders have reaffirmed their commitment to autonomy within Denmark despite growing international interest in the resourcefully strategically located island. Concluding our international news, displaced Syrians have begun returning to the Sheikh Maksud neighborhood in the northern city of Aleppo following days of deadly clashes between Syrian government forces and Kurdish-led fighters. More than 1,500,000 residents fled Sheikh Maksud and the nearby Akfay district during 5 days of fighting that left nearly 24 people dead. Aleppo Governor Azam Garib said the government regained full control of both areas over the weekend. Convoys of families who had sought refuge in the nearby city of Afrin entered the damaged neighborhoods, reverberating with residents dancing as they disembarked from buses. Returns were delayed while security forces and civil defense team cleared mines and then exploded ordnance. Although basic services such as water are only starting to be restored, many residents express relief at avoiding long-term displacement. The return comes amid ongoing tension between Damascus and the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, with a report of fresh skirmishes east of Aleppo. Kamikaze Island, Mamarga Gasabo TV.
As we come to the end of today's news edition, let's remind you of the top stories that we talked about. Ida Mukabagwiza appointed to lead EAC election observation mission for Uganda polls. Rwanda raises coffee prices to boost farmers' income. On the international news, Algeria's president urges youth living abroad illegally to come home. And this marks the end. Stay tuned.